All right, so it's some 21 minutes after 8. You're still live here on the AM show. Our show is proudly brought to you by Mixi Coffee. Well, I'm doing an early burner today because the subject is rather very important, one that is very dear to my heart. We're talking sexual reproductive health, adolescent reproductive health, with some very beautiful children from different schools. And I also do have a representative of the Ghana Health Service right here. So straight out, I'll introduce to you Diana Bona, who is a child and reproductive health nurse. Good morning to you, Diana.
Good morning, madam.
And my beautiful guests from across Secondary College, Ideal College, St. John's Secondary School, Archbishop Porter Girls Secondary School. Good morning to all of you.
Good morning, madam.
I hope I mentioned Ideal College. Yes, I did. So we're talking, dealing with the challenges of abstinence and early pregnancy. I guess I can start with you, Diana.
Yes.
What's the word I'm trying to struggle with? How popular is the issue of teenage pregnancy today? I mean, we've heard, I think sometime last week or 2 weeks ago, we had very startling statistics. Children as early as 10 getting pregnant.
Yeah. It is true. Teenage pregnancy is indeed a problem. But Ghana Health Service is trying its best to let the children know that it's important for them to wait after 20 years before they can become pregnant.
Wait after 20 years?
Wait after 20 years. So they have to do all what they can to prevent pregnancy. But actually, last year, we did record about 256 teenagers who were pregnant. And then delivery, we had over 1,000 teenagers who also delivered. But actually, anytime we get the chance of talking about abstinence from sex, we do that. And then if we get a chance of talking about preventing pregnancy, we do that also. So we are really trying our best to prevent teenagers from becoming pregnant.
Okay. So whose responsibility is it really to preach abstinence or prevention of pregnancy? I mean, is it a responsibility of the Ghana Health Service alone?
It's not. It's not for only Ghana Health Service. Parents have a part to play. Our pastors have a part to play. Our imams have a part to play. Civil society have a part to play. And indeed, the young girls and boys themselves also have a part to play.
Okay. So let me just ask you, we're talking about you. You as in you're representing a whole lot of people out there. How difficult is it to abstain from sex? And any of you can answer.
It's very difficult, but...
First of all, your name?
I'm Irene Adu from Archbishop Porter Girls. It's kind of very, very difficult for we, the adolescents or the teenagers, to abstain from sex. But sometimes you have to do it because you don't want to get pregnant either. But it's kind of very challenging.
Why is it challenging? Why is it difficult? Because you're feeling certain things in your body?
Yeah. I was told in school that I should go, your hormones also go. And we get into a stage like 18, our hormones go very early. So it becomes challenging for us. And we hearing some things about sex, we are curious to research.
Yeah, you smiling. Who started the conversation about sex in general with you?
Okay, I heard it from my peers.
What's your name?
I'm Douglas from Archbishop Porter Girls.
Sure.
I heard it from my peers. They were gossiping about...
Your friends, what were they saying? I want to hear all the gist, all the things they said.
Oh, it's a long time ago, so I can't really remember.
Okay.
But I remember they were the first people I heard it from. And then later, our teachers taught it in class and all that. And then...
So what was the core message that the teachers were trying to send? What was it? Was it have safe sex or do not have sex?
Abstinence.
So when did mommy and daddy come into the picture?
Okay, my mommy and my dad have not sat me down to really talk sex matters with me.
Okay.
But they've been telling me, oh, be a good girl and stay away from this, don't do that, don't do that. But to really sit down, they haven't.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 17.
Okay, I hope you don't mind. I know girls don't really like mentioning their age, and I'm sorry I did this to you. But can I have any of the guys answer this question as well? Who introduced the subject of sex to you in terms of discussion? Mention your name, your school.
Okay, I'm Stephen Affair from Adolecents International.
And just pick up a bit for me.
Okay, talking about those who introduce us to sex, that's, I would say, our peers. Because let's say you're in the boarding house and then your senior who is sleeping below you, there's a guy who comes to visit you and they start talking about all sorts of things. You're also curious to listen to what they're saying. So you start hearing from that place what the whole thing is about. And then you start to think, okay, so this is what they're saying, what is it? Let me also try and then see what is it about. Then that's how it.
So have you been tempted to try any of the things that you had?
Temptations come, but then we do overcome.
No, I want to hear your personal, how you overcome it.
Okay, for me, actually, when those things...
Do you have a girl? How old are you?
I'm 17.
17. Do you have a girlfriend?
No.
Why not?
I think I'm not ready.
You're not ready. Okay. Okay, sure. Can I have another person answer the same question?
I want to hear.
Okay, your name.
My name is Pearl.
Do you have a boyfriend?
No, I don't have a boyfriend.
Why not?
Because I made a vow to myself that I'll start dating when I'm 18.
When you're 18. Okay. All right. And when do you intend having sex?
When I get married.
When you get married. Okay. You're 17 as well?
Today.
No. Oh, happy birthday to you. You share your birthday with a very special person in my personal life. And her name is Gifty Andoapia. But we'll come to that. There's some free lunch going to happen in this building. I would announce if you're out there, you want to come join us, you're welcome to. But okay, let's hear you.
Well, I've been hearing it from my peers when I was in JHS. But when I had
And when we say peers, we mean
my
friends.
yeah. I had my first menstruation when I was in JHS 1.
Okay.
So when I went home, my mom sat me down and talked to me about it, what I should do, what I shouldn't do, and she even went ahead to tell me the periods in the month that is safe for sex, but just as a precaution.
Oh, okay. Okay, I like that. So what's your name?
Okay, it's Walker from Second College.
Who started the topic of sex with you?
I think it was my peers, then my teachers. Yes.
Your peers and then your teachers. What exactly did they say?
They were talking about sex, like the time that you have to have sex and stuff. Some people had already had sex before, so
they were sharing their experience. Diana, when you hear this, and I'm sure this is something that you hear often, does it sound strange to you that young people will start the conversation of sex and about sex from friends or with friends?
Yes, I don't get surprised because parents are supposed to talk to their children about sex right from their childhood. But most parents shy away due to so many reasons. Some are not even aware of whatever message to give to their children. Some also feel shy. Some are not well educated and so on. But so what happens when they go to their friends or in school? The friends, and even sometimes they also get the information from the internet and all those media. So they end up by learning from their friends.
Where is the best place to get the right information from? Who is the right person to start the conversation?
If the mother has the knowledge, it's best for the mother to start, or the parents, so that right from childhood, the mother keeps on exposing sexual topics on sex to the child, so that the child doesn't find herself in a wonderland because she's never heard of it, and therefore any message that comes from an external source, the child takes it. So it's best for the parents to start. But that is if the parents are well knowledgeable about it. If they are not, maybe in the church, in the Sunday school teachers can also talk to the children about it. Otherwise, then at school, the teachers will have to do it. And indeed, nurses will have to do it when they go on school health.
One of my worries is at what age should you start the conversation? Because the fear is, if they do not know anything about sex. And you start the conversation, and I was impressed when the young lady said,
Yes.
my mother started sharing with me the safe periods and so on. Sometimes you're afraid that when you start saying these things to your child, you'll be telling them that, so have sex, at this period and at that period, because then it's safe.
Yes. There's no specific age to start, but you also have to take into consideration the child's maturity, the ability to be able to understand whatever message you are telling her. So what you do is that maybe you are sitting down watching television with your child, and then a news comes on. And if the news is related to maybe rape or defilement or something, you seize that as an opportunity and just chip it in. So there's no specific age, but the earlier you start, the better. And then you have to actually look for an avenue to push the message.
Okay. So how early can a young person have sex? What are you saying?
Indeed, this is a very difficult question.
So before you try to tackle it, let me ask the young people.
All right.
Sweetheart, what's your name, and at what age do you think a young person can start having sex?
My name is Samuel George Mawina. I'm a student of secondary college. The age at which someone can start having sex is roughly at age 20 to...
You have to speak up a bit for us.
Roughly at age 20 to 25, because at that stage, the person can be emotionally prepared for what he or she is going through, and maybe will be able to stand up against the side effects that may follow.
And I'm sure this is what you've told yourself personally. How about the temptation? Say I'm your friend, and I'm telling you that you have to try it early so that you know how it feels like. What would you say to me?
I'll tell you.
I have experienced it. I am as young as you are, and I'm telling you that try it. I mean, it feels better than if you wait till that age you're talking about.
I guess I'll still stick to waiting till I'm older before I start doing it, because I know what I don't know how to put it, but I know what really comes out of having early sex and the side effects. Maybe as early as you are, if you do it, you might not be able to control the side effects, what may happen to you after you have such a relationship. So I will still stick to
Well, I think I disagree with him a bit.
So speak up so that we can hear your disagreements.
The best age for you to start having sex is when you think it's right for you to. We are human beings, and our choices depend on ourselves. So when you think you are emotionally stable to have sex with someone you love, that one, I have no problem with it. So it doesn't matter the age.
Okay, so you are sort of agreeing with him, but you're disagreeing with the fact that he gave age to it. Yes. But essentially you're saying the same things. Can I have the ladies support me? Because I know this is what ladies feel. Is it true that the guys push us into having sex?
Yes.
Hey! Are we speaking the same language? Somebody who haven't spoken, can I hear you?
Yes, at times some people.
What's your name?
During Covenant from secondary college. People who get into relationships, they normally, like most of my friends, they normally complain that their boyfriends will be pressuring them to go into having sex. So I think the boys also pressure the girls into having sex.
Okay.
In my view, I don't think that boys pressure the girls, because if you keep your mind to something, you shouldn't just back down from it just because someone is forcing you. You have to be strong in your opinions.
Okay. Somebody else wanted to say something.
Okay. And about when to have sex, I think the best time to have sex depends on the time you get married. I'm ready to have sex after marriage, and that's what I think people should also start thinking about after marriage.
So you are 17, and I want to push you. You say the right time to have sex is when you're married. Yeah. So what if you finally get married and you realize that your husband is not very good sexually? I'm sure you've heard that.
Yes.
Well, I think since she has not done it before, she wouldn't know whether that's it.
Yes. Okay, I like this one. Alright, so let me come to you. Let me take a break from them because they're very hard. Let me come to you. At what age do you advocate that young people can start having sex?
I would still stand by my words that it's really difficult. Indeed, there's no cut-off age. But as one of them said, the best age is after marriage. So if you are going to marry after 25 years, indeed, we'll say that time is the best time. But if emotionally you cannot abstain, and you are going in, I mean, we cannot stop you because we wouldn't even know. So I would say maybe around 20 years, 18, 20, that's fine. But it doesn't also mean that when you are 18 years, you should go in for sex. That's not what I'm saying. The best age is after marriage, which we are saying it should be after 20 years, so that when you go in for sex, you should also be prepared for the consequences.
Okay, so let's talk about pregnancy, early pregnancy, and I know one of you at least has an experience. Can you share it with us?
Okay, experience of a friend.
A friend, yes.
I had a friend who got pregnant when we were in JHS2. I'm now in SHS2. Yeah.
Okay, and she is she also in the secondary school now?
Yes, unfortunately for her, her parents were very good, so they waited for her to deliver. After delivering, she went back to GHS, then she completed, so she's now in the SHS.
Okay, so how did it happen?
Actually, I really do not know, because she was not coming to school for some time. Then when she came back, she was not all that. You see that when you see her, you know that she's not fit. Then I saw her another time, she was pregnant. And I heard the mother took the baby, then the mother took care of the baby, so she went back to JHS.
So when you hear, and any of you could take this, when you hear things like this, what does it do to you? What does it tell you?
It puts fear in me, because somebody like me, my mom's trust is all in me, and then I do not want to disappoint her. So me hearing that, and then the emotional things they go through, some even don't go to school. So it puts fear in me, and then I wouldn't like to engage myself in sex.
But guys, do you care? Because after all, you do not carry the pregnancy.
My name is Sobede Japon from St. John's. I don't think fear is necessary here, because we all have our own decisions in our life. Everything that we do in life depends mainly on our discretion. If you want to enter into illicit sex and then you think because someone does it, you're kind of scared. I think it's your own decision to do it. If someone is doing it and you know that you're not supposed to do it, doesn't mean that though you are there, you're not doing it. It means that you should fear or something else. I don't think fear is.
So you think that no matter what your friends say, you will not be moved to want to try it?
Provided you really know your morals and everything. It depends on your own discretion. You don't need someone to push you to do things at this stage.
How old are you?
17 years.
Okay, so let me ask you, and this is for the guys only. Do you care? I mean, you can have sex. After all, when you get a girl pregnant, you will not be carrying the pregnancy. It will not show on you.
Okay, the caring actually will come from whether it was love or lust. When it is lust, you won't get. When one is there, you won't get. It's like, okay, I'm done. That one is to you and your baby. And then when it's love, it's like you stick to it. You know that, okay, we decided to do this, so let's go by it.
Well, I think
on a case, let's say we care somehow, sometimes we don't care.
Yeah, you were going to say something, please.
I was saying that I'm Michael True from senior school. We say that at a tender age, well, 16 years, 17 years, we may not know what love truly is. For example, you go in and think, oh, because you see this girl, your heart beats faster, so you need to love. You don't really know, so you should take a time, make sure you are emotionally mature to engage in that before.
Okay, so why don't you have a girlfriend? I'm thinking that perhaps you do not have a girlfriend. And I'm wondering why. Why don't you have a girlfriend?
Okay, personally, I would like to have a girlfriend after I've finished I have a private list, you know.
Oh.
So my education is on top, so I want to maybe get my degrees first before.
Okay. Don't you find, are you in an all boys school?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But you do intercourse, so you meet other students.
Yes.
Don't you find girls attractive?
I do find I'm a man, of course, and my hormones are of course attractive. But then it's all on determination. I'm determined not to have a girlfriend at this age. So I might find the girl attractive, yes. I'll maybe look at her or something, but like I wouldn't put inside my mind to go after her in that sense. Yeah.
Okay, so Dana, help us a bit and talk to parents and people who train young people. What should we be telling them about sex?
Well, you first of all, you have to tell the children when they are getting to their adolescence, the changes they should expect, like the development of the breast, the hair growing in the pubic area, the armpits, the hormonal changes that will lead them to be having that sexual desire. So when you talk to them about this, they wouldn't get surprised when they are getting to that stage. Otherwise, they will even think, oh, what is happening to me these days? I feel like having sex, and then they rush into it. But when you expose them to it, they wouldn't become surprised when they get to that stage. And you also have to tell them that if they are having that feeling, maybe they should channel their energy into something else. Maybe sports, something, reading, so that at least their mind will be taken off from that.
Do you think, because I am personally thinking that it would be very difficult for a parent to start talking to a young person about the use of condom?
Yes.
How should we start that conversation as well?
You first have to know your child. Sometimes a mother will tell the child, don't go here, but that's where the child will go to. Sometimes the young ladies and young girls and boys may be indulging in sex and the mother may be aware. So if you are the type who can who is fortunate to know your child is doing that, you can talk to her about using condom to prevent STIs and unwanted pregnancy. But if you feel you cannot, we also do have adolescent health corners. In Accra, we have a well-established adolescent health corner located at Osha Polyclinic or any reproductive center.
Okay, do we have some across the country in the regions?
I should think so. I'm not very sure, but I'm thinking we should be having.
Okay, so if you cannot,
if you even go to any family planning hospital clinic and talk to the nurses, I mean, they will be able to help you out. Even if you are not able to locate the family planning clinic and you just step into the hospital, confide in a nurse that, madam, this is my problem, I want help. The nurse can even hold your hand and take you to a family planning clinic. Yes.
Okay. Would you be comfortable if your parents did that to you?
No.
See, we're getting
yes, but there are some parents who hold their children's hand to family planning clinics to go and have IUD inserted for them or Jadel.
That's
yes.
when they find that they're sexually active
and you've spoken to the child.
But is that a good thing? Because that's like license to always have sex and not be pregnant. That's a big one.
Yes. But if you also leave the child is going to become pregnant.
I'm thinking that sometimes, why don't you just leave them? If you get pregnant and you carry it and the baby comes and you experience it, then that's matured. That's like, yeah, you want to be introduced to the world early, so that's it. I mean, what do you think about that? Instead of you taking the child to have a permanent, something so that you don't get pregnant, but you can just be having sex. There's also the possibility of you getting a sexually transmitted disease.
So whichever method the person opts for, you still have to tell the person to accept condom, because for the condom is going to prevent sexually transmitted diseases as well as unwanted pregnancy. So even if you are going in for IUD or Jadel insertion or implant, we still talk about condom to you, because all these methods don't prevent sexually transmitted diseases, but condom does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another subject is pornography. And is it strange to you when you hear me mention pornography?
Not at all.
The materials still exist even in the boarding school. True or false?
True.
Okay, so how do you come about them? I mean, you have phones, you have cell phones, even though you're not permitted to use them in school. When you're introduced to materials, pornographic materials, what do you do? What's your reaction?
Well, sometimes it's nice to watch. We are human, and someone gives it to you. It's a magazine. Maybe you don't know what is in it. Then you open it to a page, then you see it. The urge for you to overcome it at first sight will be difficult because you like to watch it. Unless, of course, you know that someone is by you and the person wouldn't think good of you watching that. That is when you turn over or you put it aside.
Okay, so ladies, does it make you want to do what you see?
It depends on the person. Yeah, it depends on the motive of the person. Yes.
Okay, so
it depends on where you're watching it, whether in the magazine, on TV, or internet, or even storybooks. Sometimes too. Some storybooks have sexually explicit.
So if you're watching on the internet, which you can easily access on your phone, and this one is your phone and you. It is you and God. Truthfully, honestly, what does it make you want to do?
Well, naturally, since you have phone.
No, you the guys, I'll come to you. You the guys, I'll come. I want the ladies to answer this because I know, guys, this one is with you like 24/7. So the ladies.
Well, the porn is not always on the internet. They have pages for it, but if you don't know, you can't go and open it. For my phone, what I use it for, it doesn't support WhatsApp, so it's only Facebook and that I use it for, and calls, texting. So I'm not actually open to those sexual.
Okay, so let me go to the guys now. Your friends, I mean your other friends, come with these books. What are you tempted to want to take a look at it? And when you do, what does it make you want to do?
Okay, as youth and as exuberant as we are always curious. Whatever we see, we want to practice it. And whenever they are watching, they are in the act of pornography, the excitement they show, whatever. As in, the kind of information you get from your friends, pornography is very good. It's kind of boost your morale to have more sex or something else. You kind of also want to experience it. What these guys are saying, is it really true? What they're saying, maybe is it based on their own experience? So you also want to explore and see. I think it's due to curiosity and the exuberance to pursue.
Any other guy? Okay, so Diana, this is a very difficult subject. I'm sure you also do know that a lot of these children are exposed to different pornographic materials. On that, what have you got to say?
I mean, we can't stop them from watching. We only have to talk to them. Because the more you watch, the more you are urged to go in for sex. So we only counsel them not to be watching. And at best, you should get a phone which doesn't support that, as somebody said. So that, I mean, even if you want to watch it, it will be a bit difficult. And parents who also know how to block that channel can do that, so that at home the children cannot get access to watch it. But if you are a parent who doesn't know how to access the internet, how much more blocking a site, then it becomes difficult.
Okay, so these young people that we're interacting with are also, they're actually young, determined advocates and champions. They talk about different things. I want to give them the opportunity to tell us exactly what they do as young, determined advocates and champions.
Young, determined advocates and champions. That's YDAC. Our mission is to lead the youth in living a healthy, happy, and fulfilled lives. And our vision is also to support the youth, the young people in their health and so on and so forth. And then our objective, as in YDAC, is that to create a forum for us, as we are talking now, to talk on adolescent issues.
Okay, so you talk to your peers as well? Yes. Okay, on what sort of specific subjects do you talk to them about?
We normally talk about, we do have several media to do that. For example, St. John's School, we do magazines which talk about various adolescent issues like pornography, teenage pregnancy, even road accidents, and so many other topics which cut across adolescents.
Do the students find it interesting?
Well, not all of them. Because most at this stage in time, their attention is not really on this kind of. They find it. Some of them find it boring. Others find it educating and inspiring. So I think, but more of them find it inspiring because they are struggling for answers which they can't get from other conventional sources. So if they find out, okay, our friends know this, then it means that it's so good for us. Yes. So I guess they patronize it.
Okay.
And also, currently in Takoradi, there's a radio program going on by YDAC. We meet on Sundays from 2 to 3 at Melody FM to discuss these issues and more. Yeah.
What's been your experience? What have other people, what's been the highlights of some of the things that you've done?
You've spoken about traffic, teenage pregnancy, spoken about rape, spoken about
Same-sex
attraction, drug abuse,
Student-teacher relationship.
lots of things.
I'm interested in student-teacher relationship. How, on that subject, if, say, Diana and myself were your colleagues and you're talking to us, so tell us about that.
Student-teacher relationship. Okay, we said it was to be encouraged. We have the positive side and the negative side. I'm Rosie Groughton from Archbishop Potter Girls Secondary School. And for the positive side, we said it enhances the relationship between the teacher and the student. If a teacher gets to know the student better, the teacher is able to know what is actually wrong with the student, knows the ways and means in which to help improve upon the academic life of the student, and sometimes to improve upon the moral aspect of the student. And for the negative aspect, where the girls and the teachers, especially the young teachers, the males, get entangled together and lead to teenage pregnancy, we say it's no good, so we should try and avoid it.
You're in an all-girls school,
Yes.
and I know, I have been through the system, so I know how it feels like when you have a young graduate or who's come to teach, then, and especially when he's a bit cute, then everybody wants a piece of him. Everybody wants to be recognized. Is it the same with you?
Yes.
Okay, so how do you overcome that kind of thing?
You see, we all know that whatever you do, you won't get the teacher. So even though
Oh, sometimes you do get them, except that they are not taking you serious. Just for the period when they want to have you, but afterwards, that's it. You're nothing to them.
for my school, the administration is very strict on the teachers, that they don't allow them to really relate to us, like sit you down, do this, go out with you or something like that. So you get to talk to him only on class basis, that he should explain this or that. But apart from that, you won't have any chance to.
Personally, what keeps me going is my goal, my sense of vision. We know this is what you want to achieve. This is why we are in school. So all these things are just fantasies, flings, something that we just experience for a while, but which is not going to impact positively on our lives. So for such things, we just play around it, laugh around it, and then our school, for instance, has made the staff flat out of bounds. So no student is to go there, and if there is a need for you to go there, it's either you get a note or you go with a prefect. That way, if there's any sense of probably rape or anything, then you are being prevented from happening.
Okay. I like that a lot. Diana, what would be your very final words? And I want you to talk to parents. Parents. Single parents or couples.
Parents, it's our responsibility to talk to our children. It's our responsibility to let the children know that if they go in for sex, being unprepared for life is not going to be easy for them. So please, let's all try, at least cut down the busy schedule, and then sit with our children, talk to them, know their problems, and help them to solve it, and also expose them to the changes that they should expect in their adolescent age.
All right, Diana, thank you so much. And just before I let you go, if somebody wants to join your group, how can they? I mean, is it open for every young person to join?
Yes, very, very open for every young person.
Okay, so how do they join? You have to be in school?
Yes.
It's a club in schools.
Oh, okay, so it exists everywhere.
Yes.
Okay.
But there are two sessions. There's the Y Pack, which is for the young parents, so like the young people, not especially those who are not in school. For example, the tertiary institutions, there's Y Pack for them. So you can also contact, I think, Dr. Linda Vanutu, who is the director of Ghana Service Accra, for more information on that. But for those in senior high schools, we have wider clubs in the school.
And one thing that I want to encourage parents, it's a good thing if you let your child be part of a certain group in school, because it helps them, it occupies them. Then they have something else that they can focus their attention on when they are not in the classroom. There's a drama and debating club. There are so many different clubs in schools that they can be active with. All right, so that will be it for my banner, and I hope that this conversation with these young people and our resource person here, Diana, has opened your eyes, and now you know how to get the information, and you even know how to communicate with your young people. That will be it for my banner. But before I go, I just want to give you a quick news headlines. And the banks in Ghana recorded 60.1% profit for 2013, according to the latest financial stability report by the Bank of Ghana. It was, however, lower than the 62.9% return recorded a year ago. And another quick one: government's move to construct 200 senior high schools is a breach of the country's 1992 constitution. A reproving member of parliament for Okaikwe Central has maintained. And quoting Articles 35 plus 7 of the 1992 constitution, the opposition MP Patrick Yaobuama told Joynews that President John Mahama is violating the directive principles of state policy for abandoning a model secondary school project started by the Kufuor administration. So you are up to date with the latest news.